Doc Favors here. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about wealth creation, self-mastery, and how to just live and create that life of freedom. And today we're back with another banger, you all. But let me just say this. The AI boom is here. And the question is, what do I do next? What do you do to position yourself where you can benefit and, of course, not be a victim or a casualty of this next wave? Because there's a serious wealth transfer happening as we speak, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to actually show you. I'm going to do some serious reporting today, okay? And then I'm going to show you one of the plays that we're in so that if you are one of those individuals with a heart condition for entrepreneurship, you can properly position yourself in a company that's on the rise. Okay. Now, with that being said, always let's give a shout out to the new subscribers. I appreciate you all coming out to hang out with your boy. And of course, do me a favor and hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn that bell notification on and help us get this to 1,000 likes. Okay. So without further ado, you all, let's jump in this. Now, you all know when I do my reporting, there's certain outlets that I look at, and this is one of those when we talk about Fox Business, you all, because they report in real time sometime in terms of the markets. And so I'm always looking at the markets, guys. Now, I encourage you to do the same. When you're talking about positioning yourself for investment opportunities or just trying to get ahead, if you got a side hustle that you want to get off the ground, you should be interested in learning about global economics. I can't stress that enough. And it's not as hard as people think. And so today we're going to be talking about this whole AI boom. And then also we're going to listen to Mr. Jensen Huang, the CEO and founder of NVIDIA. See? So I'm already starting off giving you guys a play, because if you're not in NVIDIA, I mean, whatever platform you use, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do. Coach can't tell you what to do, but what I can do is share with you some of the plays that we're in and how we winning and how we get in this bag. Okay. So with that being said, let's take a listen at this, and I'm going to commentate throughout. I'm not going to just play the whole thing. I'm going to commentate throughout because this is a banger.
The AI revolution is here. Chipmaker NVIDIA is at the center of it, reporting an 85% increase in revenue last night and a 92% increase in data center revenue last night. In its first quarter release, I sat down with NVIDIA's founder and CEO Jensen Huang right after he released the numbers. He told me we are only at the beginning of a massive AI build-out, with hyperscaler and agentic AI driving the next phase of.
So listen, for those of you who are wondering, is it too late for me? I'm here to tell you already. And also, I'm here to tell y'all, I was trying to do this live. So I got to call Junior back again because this was supposed to be live so I can see your comments and everything. But don't forget, just drop some comments down below. Now, she starts off by saying this is only the beginning. And she uses some terms that he's going to break down in gentive, I believe, and which simply means they were once in a position where they were doing some research, but now they're actually working. Okay. But anyway, this is going to be interesting, but you're not late to the party, is what I'm saying, you all. You have time to get yourself positioned to really posture yourself and get involved, get out ahead of it, okay? And I'm sounding the alarm, all right? Seriously, as many other people are. But it's important that you understand that you can actually benefit from this in a major way passively if you are interested, okay?
Growth. Watch. Record sales and earnings from NVIDIA, the company posting a double beat in the first quarter earnings release. Per share coming in at $1.87 a share. Revenue at $81.62 billion. That's up 85% from a year earlier. CEO Jensen Huang saying AI data center build.
Now, look, guys, when you're talking about investing in the company, if you're doing stock options, whatever you're talking about, Forex, this is the information. You know what I'm saying? Technical analysis work, but fundamental analysis, the news drives the markets, y'all. And so, those of you who are in the markets, if you are a trader, if you are an investor, passively or whatnot, you still want to know what's going on. Because here's the reality. When just a week ago, when they were out in China, man, the Nvidia stock spiked like a mug, y'all, and you have to know this though. You got to pay attention. So sometimes, you get up in the morning, you got that good cup of Joe right there. I don't really drink coffee. I do more tea, but whatever your beverage is, you want to sit down and show up. And that's why I'm actually was thinking about doing these Friday lives, you all, to kind of set the tone for the coming week. But I'm still working on it. But anyway, look at these numbers: 1.87, estimated 1.76, revenue 81.62 billion to estimate 78. Do y'all see this? And so this is up 85% from last year. Now, if you're looking for a play to get involved in, even long term, guys, if you're not swing trading or day trade, even a long term play, set it and forget it, put a trailer stop. Guys, I remember when Nvidia was like $97, $98, and it's up to 235. So what you get, and it pulled back a little bit if I look as I looked this morning. And so what you want to do now is position yourself to say, okay, how are you getting in this place? Once again, it's yeah. Once again, I'm looking at I do some of my stuff on my phone, y'all. And once again, you gotta look for the next setup. And you all who've been in this game, you all know what coach is talking about when he say that. You gotta look for the next setup of when you're gonna get in and where you're gonna ride it to. Okay. So obviously when the market hit these all-time highs, they pull back some, and then you get in where you want to get in, and then you ride it up to the next level and beyond, depending on what you see. And as you see and hear, these are some major plays. Okay, look at this.
Out is the largest infrastructure expansion in human history. Adding NVIDIA is uniquely positioned at the center of this transformation as the only platform that runs in every cloud, powers every frontier and open source model, and scales everywhere AI is produced, from hyperscale data centers to the edge. Joining me now with more on this insatiable demand for AI chips and infrastructure is the man himself, NVIDIA founder and CEO, Jensen Huang. Jensen, welcome. Thanks so much for being here.
Hi, Maria. Great to see you.
Another incredible quarter, Jensen. $58 billion in net income for the quarter, 3 times more than a year ago. Can you tell us what drove the business this cycle?
The big thing that's going on, Maria, is that AI has gone from generative AI, which is really interesting, produces really interesting content, to now agentic AI. AI can now do work, productive work, valuable work, and as a result, these AI companies are generating tokens, which is basically
Right there. Now look, guys, y'all know Coach, y'all know Doc Phase, man. I try to get you all in this, and let me change the screen real quick while I'm talking because I try to position and bring you all the facts as I get it and to share with you all what we're doing. So make sure you stick around to the end of the video because I'm gonna share one of the plays that I'm actually in that is blessing our family greatly. But I always try to produce content for you all so that you can understand. And I don't just drop it on you. So if you all have been paying attention and what's been going on here, guys, I've been actually dropping some stuff on you because I want you all to be in the know. So if you haven't seen, go scroll up to the channel. When I hit this video here, what is tokenization? This was me dropping it and setting you up because you just heard what he said. See, so we think AI is separate from tokenization and separate from real world assets. And I'm telling y'all, they combining this stuff. And you're going to hear him say in just a moment. So when you see videos like what is the token and the Alpha Pass overview and the Bellator Alpha Pass, AI is changing everything. This is going to be my third video. So I'm trying to share you all and show you all where the wave is going, which is why I'm doing in this video now. AI is changing everything. Don't get left behind. But now watch. Today we talking about AI is booming. What do I do next? You see? So I'm compounding, stacking the videos for you all because I believe this will help you actually grow. So don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. All right, so let's get back into this. So he says because it went from generative let me see here. I'm gonna to generative to agentic. That means it was once you can use it as a research tool, but now they are actually doing work. And what that means, you all, is AI is now participating in building AI. I know it sounds weird. I know y'all like, man, what in the world is this? I know our younger generation, they graduate from colleges and like, man, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? There are certain things that you still can do. But one of the most important things that you can do in terms of getting out in front of this, I'm gonna tell you now. And many of you may not want to hear this. Y'all don't throw no stones at Doc Favors. But here's the thing. Entrepreneurship is one of those things to where is the way AI is going. I'm not saying that we don't have a need for specialties or specialists. Hear me when I say this. You're always going to need a doctor. You're going to need a physician. You're going to need to eat certain things that I call certain industries that are essential. You know, like we always going to need water. We always going to need food. Always going to need shelter. We're going to always need transportation. The different things with transportation is that the AI can build robotics, you all, and they can drive them vehicles themselves. But I don't see an AI in the near future cooking my food or preparing my dish. You see, I see AI integrating and helping with medical in terms of procedures that can be done with predictive precision. But I don't see it making a decision when it's in there just to overtake that industry. I see it being as a help. And of course, now if you a person who was in analytics or you in anything that's coming out of I forget the term for it you all, but when you're talking about computer science, those are the guys that's going to be feeling it the worst right now. Okay. So once again, if you talk about entrepreneurship, what type of service product can you offer that will help your community, help your people, and ultimately help you? Okay. So that's what he's talking about when he says generative. He's going to, I mean, agentic. He's going to say a little bit more about it.
The math of intelligence, they're generating tokens that are profitable. And when that happens, they want to generate a lot more tokens so they can increase their revenues.
Okay, now here's where I got to transition because he's talking about tokens, you all. And once again, I talked to you all last week what tokenization is. And so now at this point, when you talk about tokens, I'm gonna just get into it, guys. We have acquired a company, the company that we're part of, Bellator Life, Miracle, and Miracle Cash, and of course Mediterra. Acquired a company, you all, that integrates AI already built out. And okay, I won't go through the numbers and all this and everything because it's not a presentation. But what I want you to understand is the overall picture is when he's talking about score, AI is connected to this company here called Score ID, which gives you the ability. I'm not gonna play the video. It gives you the ability to develop a credit score. You know, when you talk about consumer credit products, many of you buying these phones, and what happens is you don't just go pay outright cash for it. You know, you they give you a fee or they charge you a certain monthly payment and they put it on your bill, and that's what we call consumer credit. But a lot of people didn't have access to it until this product comes out, which gives you a score ID. So now you got a Web3 credit score to match your traditional credit score. So you may not have good traditional credit in terms of the big three, you know, that the banks require, but you're sitting on a lot of crypto over here because you've been focusing on it. And now because we can bring it together, you can apply or afford one, first of all, because we're using crypto in terms of payment. That's what Miracle Cash is all about, or Miracle Pay. And it's booming. So we got the credit piece. What am I saying this for? Because directly connected to this is our score token. And when you talk about having nodes, nodes just verify transactions on the blockchain. So the whole ecosystem and the whole play, okay, I guess I'm just going to give it to you all now that we're in you all, you're going to have these score tokens. So that means now, as he's just said, the score token produces liquidity and people are tokenizing real world assets. So now you all are starting to see what Doc has been trying to tell you all for the past 6, 7 months, and it is now here. You're actually seeing it being reported, okay? So when I say we got our score token coming out, that's connected to the ecosystem of the AI projects and the Web3 score, and also well, I'll tell you about that later. But this is what I'm saying. So how do you do? Well, favors, what do I do? You got to get yourself positioned so you can acquire some of the right tokens. These are not meme tokens. These are utility tokens that's connected to a business that is really solving the problem. So we have a real product. We have real customers. You all get what I'm trying to tell you. And that's what you want to look for. We got sustainability. And I'm just going to tell you the truth. That's why videos like this is so important because now for some of you all, I'm introducing you to a whole concept of tokenization and AI and how AI and tokenizing assets are coming together. Okay? So take a listen at this. This is so cool, man. I love doing this for y'all.
In this era, in the era of AI, compute is revenues and compute is profit. And so this is the transition that has happened recently. Agentic AI is now here. Valuable AI is now here. Productive AI is now here. And we're scaling,
I just want to
increase the
rewind that.
revenues. In this will work. And as a result, these AI companies are generating tokens, which is basically the math of intelligence. They're generating tokens that are profitable. And when that happens, they want to generate a lot more tokens so they can increase their revenues. In this era, in the era of AI, compute is revenues and compute is profit. And so this is the transition that has happened recently. Agentic AI is now here. Valuable AI is now here. Productive AI is now here. And we're scaling all of these AI companies so that they could generate the revenues that is coming to them.
We're scaling all of these revenue AI companies. We're scaling these AI companies so that they can produce revenue. Now, once again, I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do, but did you hear from his mouth to our ears? This is what they're doing. And so my perspective is, all right, if you see individual 85 bit, oh my God, then if you see individuals of this magnitude moving like this, then why not get into that wave? I know a lot of people be hoping and wishing, y'all, all this is just about action. All you gotta do is get yourself positioned. Once again, it's so many of them out there, first of all. So you gotta know which ones to get into. This is why I do this type of research for you all and share with you all what we're doing and what's going on. And so how do you get access to this type of thing? You know, we got, of course, a lot of stuff, but the Alpha Pass that's connected to the Score ID, that's connected to our token, that's connected to the Web3 and the whole business of the AI Intelligentsia, which is our company that offers you abilities to have a one-stop shop. Now, here's what I'm saying. For those of you who don't understand, right now you have so many options to choose from. You got different names, different this. Once you choose this one, then you got to choose that one. Then you got to choose this one, and you got to a la carte this stuff all through monthly subscriptions. And when you look at it, many of you are paying almost $30,000 a year through monthly subscriptions alone because you're trying to piece together your business. And I'm happy that you all are doing solopreneurship. You know, got your business going, whether it's a coaching business, you know, AI bit, whatever you got, whatever you're teaching people how to do, that's amazing. What I'm suggesting to you all is that you stop a la carte this stuff and spending so much and come on over here and get something for a one-time fee. And then you got a small you can have access to everything. One license, one login, one ecosystem, zero disconnect, and you're going to have maximum value for a price that's barely a fraction of this. You see? And so obviously if you're interested, I'll leave a link down below, the first link down below in the description, and we can get you set up. But once again, I want you all to hear the language on this. I want you all to see that AI is not only booming, but now you know what to do next. You have to position yourself and connect with someone who knows about this. I'm hoping, especially if this is your first time seeing it, that you go through my page, go through my YouTube channel, y'all, and go look and see some of the videos. Go look and see what we're about. Helping working adults master their mindset, create wealth, and build a life of freedom. You see, that's all what that is. Everything I do as a pastor, as a mentor, as a leader, I'm always trying to help someone what? Discover that mindset, master that mindset, because your thoughts are things. You got to understand that. I'm always trying to help people create more wealth because I understand that, you know, at the end of the day, we all need to be able to express our love for loved ones, or when something happens, catastrophe, it's nice to have some resources set aside. But some people don't know how to manage their resources, whether it be time, money, or talent, treasure or talent. And then, of course, you want that life of freedom. That's living life on your own terms. I seen and watched my mother, you all, very quickly wake up and go to work, almost work two jobs, you all, just to make ends meet. And then I also seen when she got to a place, when she went and got some more education, she went back to school and finished the night school. Because she had us, she had to take care of us. But then I saw my mother go in and go to school to better herself. And then she got that government job. Then she finally got her a nice home and she bought her house and bought a car. I saw her in what freedom looked like for her and what she worked so hard for. But one thing my mother used to do all the time is travel. And many people don't know this, but she would take them 3-4 day trips once a year. and she would leave out some of us at home. I ain't bugging on, I ain't tripping on my. So what did I say that? I say that you want to be able to get to the point where you can know, like, and love someone. That means who you feel a sense of genuineness about it. That's why I say consistency is the key. I show up every week to give you all, to bring you all consistency so that you can fall in love with your life, okay? In terms of loving God and wanting to live life to the fullest. That's what I'm talking about, okay? Now, with that being said, you all, you hearing what they're talking about. This is Fox business. You can see this right here. Listen to this, and then we're going to shut it down.
So, Judson, are you saying that it's gone way beyond the hyperscalers? I mean, we've been talking about all of the spending on AI from the likes of Microsoft and Google and Amazon and all of the large big tech companies. Are we beyond that? Are we still in the first inning of AI in that regard, or are you seeing a broadening out throughout corporate
Listen
America
at
right
this
now in
right here,
terms of
y'all.
spend?
We are seeing both of those happening at the same time. On the one hand, the hyperscalers are growing, in our case, 90% a year on a very large base. And so just think here, we're growing in absolute dollars and at a percentage faster today than we were a year ago and the year before that. And so it's pretty incredible. And so the hyperscalers are in the early innings of delivering, scaling out their.
All right, let Coach give you all a little tidbit right here, man. This is from the heart. When you're looking at blue chip stocks and you want to invest in, first of all, invest in what you use, invest in what you love. Once again, I'm not a financial investor. This is what I do, should I say. So if I like to travel, I look at the hotels that I go to. I go look at their stocks. I look at the things that we use. We use in Zoom. We use in certain platforms. So I tend to go and hold some shares in those things because they make sense. That makes sense to me, you know. So when you see here on the screen, Meta, Apple, Amazon, Alphabet Inc., Google, and you see Microsoft and Nvidia, obviously, wouldn't it make sense to try to find a way to diversify to hold some of those shares as these companies are reported to be doubling in size, to be going up? See, this is the mindset that I'm talking about. But see, some people will hear that and look at that and it'll go right off of them because they just not tuned to be aware. And that don't mean that I'm anyone is better than the other person. It just has to it has to do with the lens that we're looking at things through, you know? And when you understand this and you say, okay, we got to look at these lens and we got to be able to pay attention to what's going on, then that's the reality, good people, you see? And so the lens that I have as a coach, I don't know if something just happened, it looked like a glitch just took place, but you know, we gonna keep it pushing. That's what happens, you all. And we gotta be more strategic and more intentional on positioning ourselves to get into things like this if you want to participate in plays in the wealth transfer like this.
CapEx, scaling out their AI factories, and scaling out their AI. Simultaneously, they're about 50%, 60% of our business, about something like that, about half of our business, because the other half of our business is industrial, enterprise, AI native clouds, these regional cloud data centers around the world, all the way to sovereign AI clouds. And so both of these different segments of data centers are growing at the same time.
He just has some major
Yeah,
stuff.
I want to ask you about that because there are so many.
All right, I'm gonna leave it right there, guys, because they getting ready to go deep. But he just said some major stuff when you talk about data cloud, data centers, and you see even Mr. Wonderful out there in Utah, I believe, building one of the largest data centers here. Okay, and so I'm gonna tell you all right now, Doc, man, this thing here is so it's exciting on one hand and it's almost mind-boggling on the other because I know you got two sides of this with people saying, well, could this happen? Could that happen? And yes. But one thing I know, and the reality is this: we weren't given the spirit of fear, y'all. You know, and so this is why I always take the approach that I take. And I'm getting ready to get off of here. But we have to at least try to show up and trust. You know, and so when you do that, understand that if you don't operate in the spirit of fear, then you should be fearless. But we should be to a point to where we can make informed decisions. So what do I do on my videos? If you all notice, I try to report and give you the most information so that you can make a serious decision as it relates to your life and where you want to go. And so right now, the play that I'm talking about is obviously the Alpha Pass. And what that Alpha Pass operates as is, guys, is like a node. And so passively, if you don't want to get in, yes, we do have a component to where you can share and benefit through direct commissions. And you could actually turn that into a career if you want. Serious. You can change your career with this. So here's what this product does right here. Do you want to change? Hush, Siri. Things is going crazy, but anyway, it gives you $90 per month the first 12 months passively. You don't have to share, don't have to talk, don't have to do nothing. Then the next 12 months, it goes up to $120 per month for the second 12 months. And then the third month, based upon the success of the Score ID business and the AI intelligence company. You see, two things. This gives you access to. That's why it's called an access pass, though. It gives you access to that. And you also can operate and use some of the products for your business or whatever you want to use it for, you see? And these payments are made in the Score tokens. Remember, he just talked about these companies producing tokens. So you see, that's why we say tokenization is here. All right. So here's ours. Here's the play that we're in. Been working at this for 8, going on 9 years this year now. So we know what we have. And so at watch this at 20 cent per Score token, which is a great deal. If you all know about IPO and ICOs, then what happens is the payment is made actually in Score token. And so 450 tokens is equivalent to $90 a month. Now, once again, you have to understand what happens when you launch a token and then the evaluation of this token is going to be around $1.50. So that means if you have 450 tokens, for example, that's going to equivalent to $675. That's only if you got 450. Now, y'all do the math. I ain't here to entice nobody. But if you got eyes to see and ears to hear, you can just get your calculator out like I used to do and say, if I got this many times that dollar figure when it first launched, of course, it could go higher, it could go lower. But at the end of the day, when you're talking about an introductory price for $2,100 right now, isn't that a great place to park? That averages out to be about maybe 4.3, 4.5%, close to that. And of course, you can buy more and increase that if you want to. You can buy more Alpha Pass. So, for example, if I buy 3 of them and 4.5%, I just increased that to 4, 8, 12, 13, 5, almost 14% return off a one-time piece. See, this is just a one-time purchase, y'all. And it pays you for life. You see? So when we talk about this whole concept of AI booming and what to do next, this is just an example of what you can do. So how do I do this, Faye? What I got to do? Well, if someone shared this video with you and say, hey, check this out, because at the end it talks about and it connects it connects the understanding about AI and tokenization. And then it also gives you a play that we're in. If someone shared this video with you, then you get back with them and you get their link. If I'm the one who shared it with you, meaning that this is your first time hearing it and you're on my page, of course, obviously, you in our network, then you hit that first link down below and you get yourself positioned. You go in there, you log in, and you go right into your back office and purchase that. You could do it with a credit card or cryptocurrency. And of course, once you get in there, you set up your piece and you'll go in, and we have it now to where it is we can contact one another. So you set that up and then you send me an email, you all, and then we'll put you in a private chat for support, show you how to get in and help you do the same if you want to. The business part of it, you all, for all the people who are in the industry, I'm just gonna say it like this, guys. I'm not ashamed of network marketing. You shouldn't be ashamed of it either. And so for those who are interested in that portion, here's the thing, flat out. 3 to 5 people can change your life. First two sales you make, first 2 people you help get in, you get $200 commission from each one for a total of $400. But on that third person, that's when the magic starts. And magic stands for making a grand in commissions, y'all, in compensation. You get $1,000 per Alpha Pass that you sell from there on. You see why people are considering making this a career now? Because here's the reality, you all. You're talking about being able, if you're a salesperson, you're talking about being able to sell and learn the skill set of selling and growing a team. And then you get overrides. I'm not going to go too deep in all that. You got to come to a live presentation. But just to say, okay, if I do 5 sales a week, I could actually make 5K a week, potentially, you know, if you do the work, you learn the skill set. If I just did 4 sales a month, 1 sale a week, it's $4,000. You see, people are seriously thinking about making a career change. Not to mention that once you have the Alpha Pass, if you don't want to do anything, you can just let it set it and forget it. It becomes an investment while you're still doing other things. You say, well, what if I don't have the $2,100 favors? Once again, this company has thought about every scenario. You don't have to come in with no money down. Just develop a skill set. So if you're one of those builders on here, and you're an influencer, for example, y'all get my link and contact me, man, because you could do something like this and just share it. 4 people get in, you done made $800. And on that 5th person, that's when the magic starts, making the grand. In the conversation, you get $1,000. That's if you come in for free. So 2 scenarios. If you get you an Alpha Pass, then it increases you by 50%. That means you only got to sell 2. On your 3rd one, boom, $1,000 to sell afterwards. If you don't want to spend no money and you just want to go out there and you got a good set of skills, then you just go sell 4. And on your 5th sale, you get that $1,000. So that means $1,800 off because you're gonna get 200 for each of the 4 sales as you see right there. And then on the 5th one, you get the 1,000 on all future sales after you make that 4th sale. I mean that 5th, the 4th. So on the 5th one, you get 1,000. Where do you all see a comp plan that's that lucrative and it fits for everybody? Do y'all see? So it's almost like they took the excuse away. And of course, there's other ways that go into it, but I don't want to overwhelm you. All I'm saying this morning is, guys, it's here. And we have positioned ourselves to get out in front of it. Because think about this, when some of those names that was on the screen with Meta and Amazon and Bitcoin, all of them were starting, I didn't have the same mindset. So we missed those plays. We are not going to miss this one. So with that being said, hopefully you understand now what to do. Or at least I started a conversation for you to start thinking about what to do in this AI technology fintech era because it's here, guys. And we positioned ourselves. Hopefully you can make a decision that'll help do that. If I could do anything to help you all out, if you got any questions, don't forget to leave them in the comments down below. And hit that first link down there. If I shared this to you or someone else shared it to you, get back to them. You know, get with somebody who has integrity, who can honestly help you, who has a heart to just want to do good by people. I try to surround myself with good, like-minded, God-fearing people, you know, that won't take advantage of you and just see you as a as a prospect and put you in and then bail on you. We don't do that, y'all. We do trainings, man. We do stuff all through the week for people. And that's important to know. That's important. I got people who reach out to me all the time in this platform and they hear my heart. You hear what's going on. Guys, I mean that. When I answer them questions, that's not a bot. I answer each question that y'all leave in them comments down below. I answer those myself. Do y'all hear what Favors is saying with y'all? That's what Coach is saying. I take this seriously. And I don't take you all's time because you take time to spend with me. And I mean that. So if you drop a comment down below, it may take me a day or two, depending on how many it is. If you got a question below, remember, that's what my Sunday nights, I answer questions and answers and put that video out. So you might get 1 to 3 videos a week, at least one for sure for Monday nights. And then when I feel an unction to share something like this, because this is important, it's time sensitive. Because you all know in business, time is everything. Timing is key, you all. Just like consistency is key. Say it all the time, y'all. Be consistent. Show up. Be consistent. Next thing you know. But timing is everything. And if you got eyes to see, like I said, then this is the time they're going to get positioned. You know, start the conversation. Reach out. Get some of the links so you can get on some of the live calls with us. And you just make a decision. Always remember this, you all. Wealthy people make decisions fast and seldom change them, if at all. Unwealthy people who are trying to get there, make decisions slow and change them frequently because they're unsure. Decision making is a skill set that it took me some time, it took me some years to learn. But once I learned it, it really took me and my family and my wife to the next level. So that's a little tidbit right there for you all. Once again, this is Doc Favors, man. We appreciate all of you all. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn that bell notification on. And leave a comment down below, you all, and share the broadcast. And as always, consistency is the key. It's one of them. It's Doc Favors. We'll see you next time.